Quick cuts of a bustling cafe, focused on a woman sitting alone at a table. Music is ambient, but slightly tense. What happens when a simple, quiet request exposes an unseen fault line? In a busy city cafe, a black woman walked in. She was tired. She just wanted to sit down. She found an empty seat at a communal table and politely asked the person already there, "Can I just sit here?" The question was routine. The reaction was not. What unfolded next wasn't loud. It wasn't a dramatic shouting match, but it stunned every witness in the room. This is not an isolated story. It is a case study in microdynamics we often miss. To understand the weight of that moment, we need to understand public space and the unspoken rules that govern it. Social geography studies how we use space. Who feels entitled to claim it? Who often feels they need permission? For generations, public spaces for Black Americans have been sites of tension. Historical segregation legally barred access. Today, the legacy continues in more subtle ways. The coffee shop test followed security guard. The questioned presence in affluent neighborhoods. A recent study in the journal Social, Psychological, and Personality Science tracked behavior in public settings. It found that people often unconsciously place greater social and physical barriers around Black individuals. The term white space, coined by sociologist Elijah Anderson, describes settings where Black people are typically absent, not expected, or made to feel out of place. So, when a Black woman enters a cafe, a classic third place, her mere presence can, for some, disrupt an assumed norm. Her request to sit isn't just about a chair. It is, unconsciously, a test of belonging. The cafe was full. The only available seat was at a large wooden communal table. A man in his 40s was at one end, working on a laptop. The woman, let's call her Dr. Anya Clark, approached. She had just finished a long shift at the hospital. She made eye contact. She offered a small, tired smile. "Excuse me, can I just sit here?" The man looked up. His eyes scanned her briefly from head to toe. His expression didn't change. But his body did. He leaned back, pulled his laptop an inch closer. The pause lasted only 3 seconds. It felt like 30 then. He gave a single, slow nod. No smile. No, of course. Just a silent concession. Anya sat. She pulled out her own book. The atmosphere was thick. A few patrons nearby had watched the exchange. They sensed the chill. This is where the story could have ended. An uncomfortable but common moment of micro-invalidation. But then, the man did something unexpected. He closed his laptop. He didn't leave. Instead, he sat for a full minute, just looking at the table. Then he spoke. I need to apologize." Anya looked up, surprised. My reaction was rude. "You asked a normal question, and my instinct was to guard my space." I realized, in that pause, what that might have felt like for you. And I am truly sorry. The cafe didn't erupt in applause. The moment was quiet. Anya, after a beat, nodded. "Thank you for saying that." The man then did a second unexpected thing. He reopened his laptop, but turned it slightly, a non-verbal sign of shared space. He resumed his work. Anya read her book. They sat in silence for another 20 minutes. When she left, they exchanged a final nod. Not friends, but two people who had navigated a tiny, profound correction. This incident matters not for its drama, but for its rarity. It was a public micro-correction. Most conflicts escalate or fester. Here, 3 crucial things happened internally for the man, which he then vocalized. First, recognition. He recognized his own involuntary behavior, the scan, the pause, the withdrawal. Studies in social cognitive and affective neuroscience, or SCAN, show such bias often operates in the brain's threat center. He recognized its output. Second, attribution. He correctly attributed the source of his reaction. Not to her, but to his own conditioned instincts. He didn't say, "You made me uncomfortable." He said, "My instinct was to guard." Third, accountability. He took responsibility aloud, in the same public space where the infraction occurred. This public component is key. It validated Anya's lived experience in front of witnesses. For Anya, for the black patrons watching, this wasn't about one man's guilt. It was about the visceral relief of being seen. The exhaustion comes from constantly questioning, was that racism? Am I imagining it? His apology removed that burden of doubt. It confirmed her reality. For the other customers, it was a live demonstration of allyship. Not posting online, not grandstanding, but a quiet, immediate personal accountability that changed the energy of the entire room. So, what stunned everyone was not conflict. It was accountability. Can I just sit here? The question is a metaphor. It is asked in boardrooms, classrooms, and communities every day. The answer is often that silent, hesitant pause. This story shows the transformative potential within that pause. It is the moment between instinct and action. Between bias and behavior, the goal is not a world where every interaction requires an apology. The goal is a world where the instinct to guard space unnecessarily vanishes. But until then, the journey is marked by self-awareness and the courage to correct course in real time. The next time you are in a public space, observe, listen. And if you find yourself in that pause question, that moment of scrutiny is where real change begins. Not with a roar, but with a quiet, stunned realization, followed by a few simple words, end narration.